Hi everyone, it's another Monday with Mary, and this week I'm going to give some thoughts anyway, and some tips and suggestions on what it is that women are doing wrong most commonly. And I don't know that the perspective that I'm going to give is necessarily going to be the most popular, but it is what I believe to be the truth, and hopefully some of you find it helpful. So, one of the things that I talk a lot about when I'm talking to groups is that there was this whole movement with feminism, and that women finally wanted to be able to be considered as an equal, and they didn't want to be submissive and in the background anymore. And part of that dynamic was that those incredibly courageous and brave women did exactly what they knew to do at the time, which was to sort of say they fought fire with fire. And when we look at this from a socio standpoint, that fire with fire was masculine energy, masculine tendencies, masculine attributes, masculine behaviors repeated and replicated. So basically, what I'm saying is that women adopted the behaviors, the thought patterns, the actions, the mindset, the energy of men in order to be able to stand up for themselves and take their places in the work and society as an equal, as a partner. And unfortunately, what that did when they then went back to a romantic relationship, they brought those traits with because they didn't know how to turn them off. And so that is absolutely one of the biggest things that I see that comes forward with women that I work with, is they're taking on these really masculine traits. So they are assertive, they are independent, they are taking the lead, they are a little harder edged and not as emotionally available. We tend to be much more in our heads, particularly if we have a strong career, and even more so if that career is in a masculine dominated industry. And we've not learned how to shut that off when we go home or when we're on a date. And so none of these traits are bad. It's just about finding that balance. And so when you end up being the one that is exhibiting all of these really masculine traits, there's a strong chance that you're going to be attracting and drawing in men that are going to fall into this submissive, right? That are going to be more emotionally available, so to speak, than you are, or emotionally open, or sometimes just downright needy. They are going to be less likely to take the lead and make decisions and plan dates and reach out to you and pursue you because you're coming across really directly, really assertively, and showing your own level of independence and decision-making skills, and that you're not afraid to lead. And, these things are great, and they certainly are not to be given up in any way, shape, or form. One of the things that I often talk about is learning how to move from being independent to being interdependent, which I believe is in the next step of evolution in connection and relationship as we evolve ourselves. That's another video. But if you want somebody to be your partner, then you have to give them space to be the partner. And I hear from strong, career-oriented women all the time that they want a strong man that will come in and that will plan a date and that texts them or calls them, the one that asks them out, the one that makes the first moves. And it seems like that's not happening anymore. And I'm saying that part of that comes from societally. I believe personally from my research and study and observation that we have moved into a space where men have adopted some of these more feminine traits to make space and allow for women, and they're kind of displaced. They don't know what to do. The other side to this, though, the most important side, ladies, is for you to be very mindful of your demeanor, of your lack of emotional engagement potentially, of your level of assertiveness and directness and how that comes across. And again, I'm not saying any of these things are bad. Directness and honesty and open communication is awesome qualities to have. There does need to be a softness about it, and there needs to be a filtering about it in a way that maybe you don't normally have that at work. I feel like this could be a whole big thing. It is something that I give talks on. If it's something that you would be interested in having me speak to your group about, or if you're interested in an upcoming workshop that is surrounded around these topics, I would love to help you out with that. Also, it's something that we can work with independently in sessions. So message me at facebook.com/B+1 and let me know what your thoughts are, and I'd love to work with you. I hope you all have a great rest of your week.